All right, good.
Are we starting? So
Good
we're good.
night.
You ready?
Which camera should I look into?
Any.
I mean, no, you either look there or there.
All right. So welcome back. It's official episode 2 of the Amateur Hour podcast brought to you guys by Sunken. And again, my name is Victor Nesta.
I'm David.
I'm Fernando.
Brian.
All right, the same usual guys as next time, but later on we're going to try to bring some guests. We're going to try to introduce new segments. We're going to try a couple of new things out this episode. We're still amateur. We're still figuring things out. But just like last episode, bear with us. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about really was us being our primarily music podcast. We'd be doing it a service not to talk about the Grammys, right? What's today? The February 13th.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day,
14th.
So, yeah.
Oh no, 13th.
tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
the Grammys was last Sunday, right?
It was last Sunday. Yeah.
All right. So right off the bat, Dave, you guys even watch the Grammys?
I heard
did
about
not,
it.
but I
I-
watched.
I did some quick research on it.
I
Does
did
that help?
not because I don't have TV. I don't have cable. I only have Netflix,
tell me you
Disney
don't have
Plus,
YouTube?
stuff like that. So I didn't watch it. I pretty much heard and saw everything I needed to see and hear on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, okay. You say that that's the only reason why you didn't watch it. So you're saying if you had cable, you would have watched it.
No, I wouldn't have watched it.
Oh my.
What are you on this podcast
The
for?
point is, yeah, I'm with them
I
on
did-
that. I don't have TV to watch, but I did just go Google it and find out who won. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's pretty much TV
I know
nowadays.
who the nominees are.
Especially-
Like,
Computer, your phone.
But do you care? Okay. So do you care about the Grammys enough to watch it? Like, let's say you had the means.
if
Would
I
you
did,
have made an effort to watch it?
Yes.
maybe, but I don't even know if I'd watch the whole thing. It's like pretty long sometimes.
So did you watch it?
No.
You just said yeah.
I would have had I known it was happening. I think I was working that day.
Oh, okay. We'll blame it on that. Well, I think I was free, and I sit there and watch it. You know, I mean,
so
Yeah.
she's slandering us.
no,
I-
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I
like,
feel like that's completely normal. Like I don't know
What?
who I've talked to and they've seen the whole thing all the way
I
through.
think it was like 3 hours long.
I mean, I don't expect anybody who says they watch the Grammys to literally watch every single second of it. But basically, I just want to talk about. I feel like there's a decline in people watching it or caring. At least when I was younger, like it would seem like more of a big deal. But I don't know if it's because of social media. I don't know if it's just because I'm older. But I still care about music. I probably care about music more so today than any other point in my life. But when it comes to stuff like the Grammys, I really do not give a shit about.
Right, and I think that's normal. But I think the people who would watch 3 hours all the way through would probably be people who have some kind of connection to the nominees. Like they want to really know, did this person win?
Just
You know
like
what
a
I'm
really
saying?
deep interest for it.
Like had I known Tool got nominated,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have like tuned in right at that moment.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that would have been
Yeah,
a
like they
deal breaker
won,
for me, at least if I heard someone I really listened to
then you check
got
it out.
nominated, I would check it out. But I feel like 'cause it's tailored for radio music, I would say I
And rock
didn't
is-
watch it.
I mean, that and rock is on the decline, so
Oh,
it's
yeah, I
not
mean-
that popular anymore.
Us being rock fans, our interest is already shot from just that point alone.
Yeah.
But even think with like the Tool nomination, I don't think
They
that was.
won.
I know, but was that I don't know if it was televised because I know there's
Was
certain
it?
there's certain awards that's not on like the main footage.
Mm.
I
For
mean,
real?
it may be recorded, and I think they do like an
Makes
after
sense,
show or
though.
something like that, right? Well,
It's pretty whack.
when was the last? Do you like any artists that are engaged? Like, did you like any of the nominations as from just a casual fan perspective?
Jog my
From this
memory
year?
real quick.
Or
Steven,
at
you got
all?
them up? Yeah. So
What artist got
I'm trying to
nominated?
think of some.
Well,
I know. 21 Savage got nominated. Nipsey Hussle.
oh, this is for
Oh,
like
yeah,
the rap
Nipsey.
album.
Yeah, that's for the rap ones. I mean, not that I'm the biggest rap fan, but
I think
Or a
Nipsey
rap fan
won,
at
too.
all.
Didn't
Yeah.
Nipsey win? It was like a featured, like it was like a collab. I forgot who else was on that song. It wasn't just Nipsey.
oh yeah, there was another one. I forgot who that other person. Oh, it was DJ Khaled, I think.
I don't know.
No, it was, I think. I don't
Steven better
know.
pull it up
It was
quick
just
because I'm
two other
forgetting.
people.
Yeah, best rap and song performance was DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
With Nipsey on it.
Yes.
Oh wow.
MC and
Khaled?
Well, Khaled doesn't really do anything.
I know. He just DJ girl and that's
He
it.
doesn't do shit.
I got the keys.
Another one.
Man.
He just banks out. He just cashes the check. Honestly, that's all he does.
Another one.
Another one.
But yeah, for the most part, at least me personally, I mean, I was a fan of Tyler the Creator, and
Oh,
yeah,
That
and I
was the one
wanted
that-
I wanted
that we saw
Igor
on
to
Twitter.
win, and
Yeah.
it did, so that was cool. But again, that wasn't enough for me to like want to tune in and watch the Grammys, even though he did perform. But again, just like you guys, I just waited to see it on either on Twitter or YouTube
For
afterwards.
the results, rather than that.
That,
whole-
so no, but he performed, so I for sure wanted to check that out. But but as far as like the program itself, I really do not care about the Grammys, which seems weird.
Let's do a pod about the Grammys. I don't care about the Grammys.
No, but that's why. But that's kind of like what I really want to get into specifically, because last week we talked about objectivity versus subjectivity within music, right? And we talked about. I mean, for the most part, we agree that it's subjective,
It
right?
is subjective, but the Grammys are supposed to be like the awards for objectively good
Exactly.
music.
So how does that work?
Critics and the people who judge these things should have a great idea on like what is good music, and we trust them. Like, oh, if they got an award, it's because the person who gave it to them knows what to listen to.
They know their shit.
They know how to recognize a great artist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's like, who are these people?
Yeah, who are they? Because the host was Alicia Keys. I doubt she's the one.
No,
Fucking
yeah,
making
that's
those
just
the
host.
host. The host
This is the
Yeah,
program.
no.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the academy or like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the people who are
Critics
they're not
and-
the critics essentially that determine these winners. It's not only who are they, but do you even think that deserves a place within music to have people to say this is objectively the best albums of this year? Do you think that's necessary?
Like, you mean, necessity? So like, should we even have the award
Yeah,
ceremony?
pretty much. Because like you said, if art is subjective, why do we have awards saying one is better than the other?
It's just
Right.
to make money.
But like, there's
Yeah,
always a bit of.
that
But
has-
no, I don't
objectivity.
think. Can't say this person's album's way better than the other person's.
I mean, we have
I
been all
think
these
you
years.
can.
I mean,
I
yeah,
totally think
we
you
have
can.
been, but it's. I don't know. It doesn't sound like we should, or we shouldn't.
I mean,
I think people deserve recognition for their hard work in the studio, composition, just everything.
Some
you know
people
what
don't
I
even write their own songs.
mean? Yeah.
I know, but that's the thing. Those songwriters are the ones who get credit.
Do
Once,
they?
yeah, I mean,
Those
for
are
the
just
most
media
part.
plants. Yeah, they're just like, hey, come and like boy bands is very
Yeah,
typical.
yeah.
Like, you have a great look. We're gonna write songs for you to sing, and we're
And
gonna
they're
make
just the
money
face
off
of
of
this
you. Yeah,
product.
they're just a product of the company. You know,
Right.
that's not really an artist. I wouldn't say they're like a low tier. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're
that's
saying
kinda-
like,
An artist writes and composes their own shit.
no, yeah, I'm
You know what
totally
I mean?
in
That's who I
agreement
call
with
an
that.
artist.
But when you're
But-
saying like you said, the awards are good because it brings recognition
Right.
to certain people, and that's necessarily the artists in front of the camera or behind the microphone. Do you think that the Grammys are doing a good job of that now?
Man, they
I
can do
w-
a
I
way
w-
better job.
Yeah, wasn't Tyler was awarded the best rap album, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Igor, and he came out saying it's like kind of like a slap to the face or something, right? Because it wasn't meant to be like a rap
Oh yeah, he was
album.
talking about that. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he's glad that like he got recognition. You know, something a Grammy is something that you're obviously supposed to be proud of. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but he was kind of like, you know, it wasn't a rap album. You know,
So
it's
it
like
felt
do you
kind of like bittersweet about accepting
Yeah.
the award.
so like
Like to reiterate, I remember him saying that he felt it was like a backhand compliment because he feels that him being black, being a person of color, making a kind of alternative music, that the Grammys put him in a box for being rap album. When I believe
Yeah.
that Igor should have been at least nominated. I'm not saying should have won the album of the year, even though I probably would have voted for it too. But I think it should have been in that category, because in the album of the year category it was Ariana Grande.
who were the nominations?
Huh?
Like, who were the
It was
nominations?
Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Lana Del Rey.
Hold on, what category are we talking about?
Album of the year.
Oh, album of the
That's
year?
like the biggest one
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they do. Vampire Weekend.
For real? What the?
Yeah.
The Lana
Good.
Del Rey wasn't
yeah,
that
there's a
bad
couple-
this year.
I like
just
Vampire
didn't expect
Weekend.
them to be
That
up
album
there.
was just okay to me
Yeah.
personally, but
They've had better.
yeah. But if you think about it, all these artists I think are white, pretty much, or at least the majority of them. I think Her actually was nominated, and oh really? Oh then never mind. I'm totally bullshitting then. But even then, they're. Yeah, but to me, I don't mean this in a diss to Lil Nas, but I think white people or just the general, I guess, the normal music listeners are more acceptive to Lil Nas because while there is like a lot of hip hop and rap kind of production, that because he doesn't claim to be a rapper, he was never deemed as a rapper. People are more acceptive of that kind of music being considered the best of the year rather than someone like Tyler the Creator, who, whether or not Igor is a rap album, he's still considered a rapper. At least he was earlier in his career. Now he's turning into just he's turned already into an artist, but that's not being recognized by this whole music machine that is the Grammys, which is pretty messed up, you know. So I think even to him, he talks about how it's cool winning the Grammys, like you said, it's something to be proud of, but he kind of shows that he doesn't care too much about it because it's pretty dismissive. So if the artists don't care about it to that degree, how can they expect people like us, just music fans, to care that much? For example, it's like, if you hear an artist, whether or not they're Grammy Award winning or not, does that change your interest in the artist?
Doesn't.
No.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I think if they told me like, "Hey, check this dude out," and like, "Oh, he's been nominated for this. He won a Grammy last year," I wouldn't. Okay.
You'd be like,
all
right then.
I'll give him a
Okay,
listen
I'll give him
and
a
then
listen, but never
won't
really.
listen to it.
That's
yeah.
cool, man.
If
that's
anything,
cool.
if I found out they won a Grammy, for the most part, my instinct is to be like, they probably make some bullshit, just commercial friendly music.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's why
I mean,
wouldn't
It
listen
makes
to
me want to check it out, to be honest.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you're an artist, what are you trying to achieve? Publicity. You want people to like. You want to branch
just want
out.
to put out some art. It's not always about, hey, let me get famous doing this.
That's true, but what is a successful artist? Sometimes to be
That
successful.
just differs upon person.
Yeah, I know there's a
Yeah,
different. But
It's how
like,
you measure success, you know?
that's all true. But I think you can't argue that a successful artist is someone that's well known. A well-known artist is
For the most part,
typically
yeah.
successful. He's gained a following,
It's
right?
not the
So-
it's not the end all
Or
be
she,
all of
not-
No, it's
success.
not. It's not, of
but,
course not.
But
There-
exactly.
There are
Yeah, I get what you mean.
some small examples that go against that grain, and they're like, no, I don't care about the publicity and whatnot. But when you win an award, right? It's like you just won the Super Bowl, right? Or like you just like anything.
It's their equivalent.
They're equivalent of that.
Yeah.
So we have goals to reach, and I feel like when people reach those goals, if they've gotten success or they've made something right that critics recognize, it does make me want to listen to like, oh snap, like why? Like they say there's a film festival. I don't want to watch films that have no awards. Like there's no attraction to me to like, oh, this film doesn't have awards. Oh, it
Whoa.
went to the Oscars and it's got all this like good awards. Let me check that out. Like it's got a lot of buzz talking. Yeah, it
but
does make me
sometimes
wanna
those are
watch
just
it.
getting like slapped onto stuff.
It does get slapped
It
onto
feels
stuff.
like that. It's
Game
kind-
Awards, like Game of the Year, but it's like
It could be a
what?
like a
Every-
publicity stunt.
But not like an award show
But-
like the Oscars or the Grammys. Not stuff like that. I mean, there's like
I guess, yeah, if you know,
But
like,
okay, because some movies will be like movie of the year.
Exactly.
Like,
Every-
movies have
but
that.
those are like quotes from other things. They're not official. For example, like the Oscar, you will never see someone's like Oscar nominated and it's not. They'll get in deep shit for doing something like that. I'm pretty sure, at least. But it's funny that you bring up like the Oscars, like for like film and acting, right?
Yeah, just to compare, yeah.
For some reason, even though I'm much more of a bigger music fan than I am, for film, I take the Oscars a little bit more seriously than I do the Grammys. I don't know about you guys.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, why would you?
Why? Yeah, why? Give me.
Everyone has a passion. If music is yours,
give me
I
reason.
think
Makes
it's
sense.
because when you're judging a movie, I feel like, because like for these awards, like you were saying, they're kind of judged to a certain degree on an objective scale of what is good and what is bad. And I think when it comes to movies, and this can even apply to TV shows and stuff, there are clear-cut things. I feel like the objective successes or objective failures are much more obvious within TV movies than music.
mhm.
Like, for example, like...
it takes like years to make a movie,
Yeah,
and then some people
exactly.
put out a song in, like an hour.
Yeah, some people really do
Yeah.
that. Or like, cause I remember in high school and taking a film class, we were watching and kind of dissecting a movie that It was The Butler, I think it was called.
Oh, that's a really good movie. Yeah.
But I remember it didn't get that much nominations, and everyone was expecting it because it had like this star-studded cast. It was talking about like the subject matter was fit for the time. Like it had everything. Like it looked like it was gonna be an award-sweeping movie. But in the class, my teacher at the time was like, pay attention to all these.
Wait, did we watch this in class? You mean?
Well,
Me and Steven watched it.
Well, we were not in the same class.
Oh, okay then. Well, we watched it. I remember.
Well, that's
I
why I
thought
didn't
it-
say we.
I thought it was that class. Okay, never mind.
But
Tripping.
no, but basically, he was like, check out all these technical inefficiencies and these flaws, and that's what held it back. Where it's like, yeah, maybe some of the acting was good and the storyline is good, but there's just some technical flaws. Like as far as like, I remember one specific part where it's like, where's this light even coming from? Like it was,
Yeah.
there was like a lighting issue.
That's a
in
very
that.
objective thing.
Exactly,
It's like,
that's
is the
objective.
lighting?
So that's, I think,
There's a
something
correct
like that.
way.
Exactly. Where I feel like there's more objective stuffs like in movies and TVs that are obvious to the crowd than your music listener. Music listeners doesn't really know the at least the casual music listener
I get you. So
doesn't know
yeah.
what a good mix is.
Film has more structured things to judge its objectivity as to where like music can be so. It
But
doesn't
there's
have as much of a
objective too.
structure. No, yeah, there is. You know what I mean?
But it's harder for a
Like,
casual
are you
fan to get
playing?
into.
Are you singing in key? Are you playing on beat? Are you
Mhm.
missing these things? Like, to be a musician, you have to know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like music theory. Like
Right,
that's
right.
a structure. That's a very strong set structure.
Mhm.
But like, does everyone follow them? Will you ever see a person at the Grammys who doesn't who sings
Yeah.
out of key? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, I think of like there's this one specific award like best performance, and as far as I know, it's based on like their singing or for them or for literally their physical performance behind the song, not the song itself.
Mm.
But that's what I think. I don't know that for sure. I feel like the biggest problem with the Grammys is that we don't know how they're judging these.
The criteria.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
the rubric? Like, what's
Exactly.
the rubric on these things? And it's like, if we knew the rubric, it's like we can finally understand what they're judging this on.
Do you think that should be made public? If there is a rubric, or is there something they're going for? Do you think we
Yes.
should know?
I mean, for the people who care
Would
about
that-
stuff like this, yeah, because the people who don't, wow, they're not gonna
I
look
don't know
at
if it would
it. But I
change
want to
anything.
know, like, how it is they're grading these people.
I think I do as a fan, but
Yeah, that's what as a fan, I
Yeah.
would want to know. What
But like for example, if I'm an artist trying to write music and I see what they're looking for, I feel like I would make music specifically catered to what the Grammys grading scale is. Like when you're writing an essay for school, you're like or doing a project, right? You have the rubric next to you saying, "All right, I got to do this, this and this for this assignment." I feel like artists will then start doing that but with music. It's like, "Oh, they're looking for I don't know. They're looking for this specific kind of mix. They want this kind of passionate singing on certain songs, but not others. They want a well-diverse album. Okay, they prefer concept albums, so I gotta write a concept. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if artists found that there was a general rubric that was made public by the people who decided to win awards, I feel like
okay.
they would start making music specifically for that rather than just artistic expression.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, would that limit the artist? It's like, okay, well, if you meet these criterias, then you'll be deemed a good song. But if so many people do it, it's like,
Yeah,
it's
and, but
everyone's
that,
making
and
the
I
same
think that's
shit.
what separates artists who care about awards and objective success to rather than just artists who are making music purely for artistic expression, I guess.
And to go back to the Grammys, someone who won a lot of them,
Oh.
Billie Eilish,
Right.
and
she won 5.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
four,
Oh,
she
four?
won four.
I
It's a
know.
shit
I
ton.
just she got nominated for 6. I thought.
She probably got nominated for more. I didn't. She won 4. That's what we know. All right, and you're right. So this will go into our
They
our
they
next
were
segment.
the best
yep.
pop vocal album, the best new artist, album of the year, and song of the year, I think.
For Bad Guy, right?
Yeah, for Bad
All
Guy.
right. So I guess now it's a good moment to introduce a new segment that we're working on. Basic, still working title, but we're gonna review or kind of not really review, but more talk about and have a discussion about a specific album each episode. And it being the Grammys, we figured it'd be best to talk about the album of the year, which is Billie Eilish's. What I don't even know what the order is.
When we fall asleep,
What-
we're,
When we all
where
fall
do we
asleep, where do
go?
they go? for sure.
Really good, yeah.
So
album.
over the last couple weeks,
Bad
been
album.
listening to that album.
That album.
Oh, that is a.
That album was well deserved. Like.
You think so?
Well designed.
def.
Okay, so what did you think after first listen?
First listen all the way through, I loved it. It closed.
I wouldn't say love.
I loved it. It closed great. Goodbye was just a perfect way to wrap it up. Came full circle. It opened up good with Bad Guy. Well, actually, there's
No,
like,
that
what is
exclamation one. I
exclamation
don't
thing?
like that, and I don't like how they it started it off.
What
like
was
that.
even
Why
what,
not?
what was even in
It,
it?
I
It
forgot.
started
Her
like
talking or some
I'm
laugh-
taking off
Oh,
my
right.
Invisalign.
They're just goofing off.
Something like
I-
that.
That was
I-
This is
funny.
the
That was
album.
a
I
good touch.
actually really like that. It shows personality. It shows like who
But
she
it could
is.
be scripted. So how really? How,
I
know?
doubt that.
Then you could say that, but I mean, it's up to you to
I don't
believe
think
that.
it
She
hurt.
could tell
It was
you.
30 seconds. It's not gonna kill an
It
album.
didn't
for
hurt.
me.
It didn't
Yeah,
kill it.
a
It's
lot
just
of-
I
a
didn't
lot of
like
albums
it. It
start
could have
that.
just
I
started
guess
with
that's
Bad Guy, and I would have been like,
Yeah,
this is it's fine.
Point is, that's you. I liked it. And then,
Well, exactly. It is me.
anyway, favorite song on the album, Ilo Milo. I love that song. I have it on repeat right now. Like, it's great.
even
That's
after
my
this
number one.
assignment?
Yeah. Number
Okay.
2, like, I have to do top 3 songs on the album. Probably say Ilo Milo. Man, it's gonna sound cheesy, but I Love You is really good. It's really soft.
That's okay.
And 8 is
It's
good.
not. It's
B-
not
you-
okay.
Oh, you like 8?
8 is good. You don't like 8?
I'll give my opinions later.
okay.
Let's just go down for
There's
so
one
what.
I'm missing, but I forgot the name
Top
of
So
it.
so no,
three?
not necessarily top 3, but just your first impressions of the album.
Oh, first impressions. Since I don't really listen to that, I was kind of, I guess, hesitant. Not really like I didn't want to really commit to listening to the album. Once I did, I gave it like 5 listens. It's okay. It's-
okay.
I'm not saying it's a really bad album, but I didn't listen to the other albums that were nominated to say like best album
You're
of
like,
the
oh,
year.
whether or not it was deserving.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take back a song because I totally
Oh
forgot.
my-
I totally forgot.
It's not that important.
It's like it's not
It is to
interrupting
me.
me. Important.
Yeah, come on, man.
I
This is
can't
me
decide
time.
between Bury a Friend and My Strange Addiction, but
My
Well, it
Addiction
sounds like
was-
you really like this album.
Bury
Nah,
a
man,
Friend.
dude.
I'd say, yeah, that's my-
Zanny was probably his.
Oh, fuck, Zanny's good too.
Zanny was probably the
Zanny's
album.
really good.
It was probably the best song on that album. I think so. I liked how once you got to like that really bass boosted part, distorted a bit of the
whoa, whoa,
vocals.
whoa.
Yeah,
I
just
love
having a
that.
really good like
The-
subwoofer. Listening to that, I'm sure it'll be
The production is really,
All right,
really
Brian,
good.
what did you? What's your first impression of the whole album?
Yeah, I listened it through. I like it. I think it's a good album. Don't think it's groundbreaking. I don't think it's
Yeah.
changing music.
I would disagree.
I do
I
too.
like it a lot. I feel like it would deserve a Grammy. I don't know.
You think so? Okay. So you're not mad that it
I'm
won
not
album of
mad
the
at
year?
all. No, I'm not mad at all. I think she's on the album she showed like a lot of personality, like how it opened up with that her like goofing off and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And I thought it was put together very well. And some of my favorite songs in there was "Wish You Were Gay,"
Oh, yeah, I
like
really
that
like that
song.
one.
Sounds good.
and I had to back up David. I Love You is a really good song. I think that's
thought
But-
re-
but-
I could
what about when the
sleep to
party's
that, bro.
over?
It's so mellow.
when the party's over, her voice is really soothing
I
there.
am too forgetting.
I don't know how the beat goes or try to like mimic
No, you have
it.
to sing it word for word
No,
right
why
now.
not?
Otherwise, I do not believe you.
I'm not a stan, dude.
No, okay. So for the album, I really liked it too. I don't want to say I really liked it as far as like I'm gonna continue to listen to it because
Yeah, like, after this-
it's not my music taste for sure. But I am, after listening to it a few times, I am extremely happy that this is the one that won, because after being used to seeing these generic pop albums that win every single year that really offer nothing to music, like it's not the most
But what are
groundbreaking
the-
album.
No, this is what I have a question for Brian on. So keep going.
I was saying because you said like it's not very groundbreaking, right?
Mm.
I don't agree that it's groundbreaking for us at least I don't want to speak for you, but sometimes I listen to some really weird shit, so it's not groundbreaking to me specifically. But the idea that it cracked the mainstream, I think it's groundbreaking on that level for that industry, to get that kind of recognition. That broke enough ground. It was creative enough to shock the norm music listeners.
I totally agree. So I'm on your side. It's like it's groundbreaking. You said it wasn't. I want to know why, because if you were to put Billie into a category or a fusion of two different genres.
Okay.
Who is she or what is
Yeah,
her?
I was going to
You know what I
say,
mean?
like, when I was listening to it, and I was like, I don't know, like, to put into a certain kind of genre, I was like, this is really hard to, like, if I had to
Like,
really
give
put
me
it.
2 or 3 artists that you would say is a combination of what Billie is, because that's what I think is groundbreaking about her. Is that
There's not
You
really
really
an
think that
artist
she's
that
that
could,
individual?
she's diverse. Like I can't
Diverse
name
how?
too
I'm not
many
gonna lie.
artists that sing the way she does to the beats,
Soothing and slow.
to the beats that she does.
Well, that's the thing. You also have to give credit to her brother Phineas, because he's like the main
Is he
producer.
the- okay.
I
and
heard
I'm
he
su-
wrote.
and they-
He
and
writes
they-
all the songs.
I don't think he writes all the songs. I think they write them together.
and
I
her
just know
her
that,
her dad's in it too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But I'm just talking about like the actual lyrics, like the writing of the song. You know what I mean? I'm sure he produces like the majority of it. That's what I would say.
Okay, I didn't know that, but that's
But
cool.
that's the thing. So they're working together to make this, I guess, product to use that for the album, that uses, I think, the good blend of like opposites, as far as like her soft smoothing voice with some of this loud crazy production, you know. And I think that's what's very interesting about it.
Right.
you
So
know?
like that's what puts her apart. That's
From
what I
other
think is
artists, I think
unique
so.
about her. I can't think of too many artists off the top of my head that have that Billie feel to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in what way do you think
But
that
then
she's
again,
not
how often
groundbreaking?
do you listen to this
I want to hear
genre?
some of Brian's examples as to who else has this Billie style. Because you said she's not groundbreaking. I think she is.
That is kind of hard. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Never
who is- I mean, I guess you could like, because my definition of like groundbreaking would probably be something like, maybe
It's new. It's hot. Like you know
It's
what I mean?
new, but at the same time, is it really? Like I said, I wouldn't say groundbreaking in terms of us, cause
Us, like what do you mean us?
like every people here, like we listen to some very weird music. I'd say.
Weird, like why weird? Why not tasty music?
I mean, Vic,
I don't mean weird in a bad way.
I mean,
Okay.
Vic listens to Daughters, so
I don't listen to Daughters
I listen to Mongolian throat singing.
or like something like that, or like a band like
I was
Black
going
Midi.
to
Yeah.
bring up like, okay, yeah, Billie is pretty. It's her style. Like, yeah, I guess you could say maybe in like a couple years from now, she may be like paving the road for something else. Maybe okay. When I say I don't know. I'm probably taking it like to a different meaning with groundbreaking. I just pretty much wasn't like from the first time I listened to it, I was like, this shit, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh, I've never heard this before. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still nice angelic singing and it's bass boosted production.
But it's the combination
Yeah,
of
you're right.
those.
You're right.
You know
So
what I
so it is innovative in the realm of pop.
Innovative.
It's
I would
innovative
keep-
in
yeah,
the realm.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty similar, but I'm saying it's innovative and groundbreaking in the realm of pop music. I don't think it's groundbreaking in the spectrum of music as a whole. I don't think it's that revolutionary.
Yeah, and I don't want to give no discredit to her. I think she did
I mean,
amazing. She's
Yeah, because you kind of
yeah.
expect an album to come out every year that's gonna do that.
And I feel like we're like separating ourselves, like us from her. It's like, you know, like, no, you're into your pop shit. You're like I feel like oh, are you good?
Yeah,
Oh, we're done. Oh, okay. I was saying like I feel I like we're separating like us as fans and then her as an artist is like we're talking about it as if like her shit is like she listens to pop music, and I'm pretty sure she does it. I'm pretty sure her music taste is maybe
Pretty
the same.
diverse.
Like if we talked to her on the street and she wasn't famous or anything, like, oh, I vibe with her. Like she listens to like weird type of shit. And that probably influences her to make the music she does, and that's why it's groundbreaking on that what she said on that
Yeah.
pop scale. But I mean, yeah, I'll give it like innovative and everything.
Like within the subject of that.
Yeah.
So let's just do final thoughts on the album. Just what comes to your mind?
Well deserved award. She put time into it.
Yeah.
I would listen to that album and then finished off by listening to the rest of her discography.
Right. So you think that
So
you're
you
gonna
did that?
continue to revisit her as an
Yes.
artist?
I'm Billie fan 100.
Oh, you know what?
Off that
I don't
one
know if I
album?
am, but
Good for you.
I
I listened
respect
to
that.
everything
I
there.
respect that.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
And this album, man, it is her best so far.
Yeah.
it's her
ex-
first album.
Or
No,
debut.
it's not.
I think the
Yeah,
other
it
one
is.
is not an album.
Okay,
I
a
think it's an EP.
debut album. Okay,
Should she
but
release
she
like
has
EPs or
others.
something?
She has
Yeah, she has
singles.
other EPs and it's just a ton of singles. Yeah, but like I'm looking forward to the next Billie. Like, yeah.
So I
Something's
can
wrong
already
with
tell
you.
the direction you're going in, but still, I want to hear your final thoughts in your words.
I mean, whatever she won, obviously has to be well deserved. I'm not saying somebody else deserved it. It was okay. It was good. I'm not gonna revisit the album
Okay.
after this. Maybe like the 2 songs that I named, Zanny,
That's
and When
fair.
the Party's Over. But the whole album, no.
That's fair.
I thought it was good. I liked it. As far as me having it on repeat, I don't think I would. The singles and the songs I listed, I would listen to them. I'll give it an 8. I thought it was good.
If you
Oh,
should rate out of
you
10.
were rating it by
You
scale.
don't have to.
I did, but
But
It's
why?
like,
I
me.
on me, I'll give it an 8. And I feel like some people maybe like hear her name, they'd probably give her shit.
Yeah.
I would
think
I would
she
back.
gets a lot of hate.
I
think
feel
that's
I feel
totally
that too,
unnecessary.
and I would say nah. Listen
Nah.
listen to it, bro.
Nah.
I feel like you haven't listened to it, but I thought it was
think just
good.
because she's popular and for her
Yeah.
age is like
Yeah.
we're gonna hate her.
It's funny. Not too long ago, I don't know if I fully believe it, but I've been trying to think in this perspective that maybe there aren't good or bad artists and just good or bad projects. And because last year there was a lot of artists that I consider some of my favorites that put out albums that I just did not enjoy. Like I listened to it and I was like, wow, that was extremely disappointing.
Name one.
Right? Okay, Mac DeMarco.
Oh,
Here
here
Comes
comes
the
the
Cowboy.
cowboy.
Here comes the cowboy.
Did not like that album at all.
I will back you up on that.
Okay,
Me too.
but anyway, that's just an example.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I still say I like Mac DeMarco. I'm not, but that's
One
the thing.
album doesn't define his whole discography.
Exactly.
Alright, but go on.
So the way I see it, like when I listen to an album, I think is not only is do I like it or not, but was it a good way to spend my time? And then listening to this album, even though it was for the podcast, I don't think I wasted my time at all. Whether or not, I don't think I'll go back to it because I don't think I will put some of those songs in any of my playlists. But it was definitely worth it in a way. Sitting down, listening to it, and doing nothing but focusing on the album. I think it was a good use of time. And then if that's the case, I can't say anything other than I enjoyed the album. And basically, isn't that the point of listening to music, to enjoy it? So, and I don't want to give it a scale rating. I'll just say thumbs up or thumbs down. That's a thumbs up for sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay,
So we're
that
gonna
makes
wrap
sense.
up that segment on that note, and we're gonna take just a brief pause, and we're gonna introduce our first guest of the podcast. So that should be interesting. Ooh, all right. All right. So now we're back. You are still watching the Amateur Hour podcast, hopefully, and this is the first time we're doing this, so hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, oh well, we're gonna still keep trying this because we think it's cool. And one that thing is bringing on guests. So we have here Alex and Frank. Are you okay with those names? Is there anything you want to be introduced under?
Yeah, of course. That's what people know me as, so I
Alright.
go with that sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. All right, that's good to know. Basically, I met you guys in high school. We were all in our kind of like music scene together. Is that correct?
Sure, is accurate.
And you are multi-instrumentalist, as far as I know.
Sure, we can say that.
On the surface level, for sure, drummers.
Yeah, we're
Our
definitely
drummers,
drummers.
bro, yeah.
No, but they play everything. You know, I don't want to discourage any
We
of that.
dabble. We're a jack of all trades.
There you
We like
go.
to mess around.
I love it. And long story short, they're the homies.
Yep. Always.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to my boy Frank
happy
today.
birthday
by
to
the
Frank.
way.
Thank you. I
It's his
appreciate
birthday.
that. Having me on the podcast.
February 13th is his birthday.
It's also Lizbeth's
22.
birthday. I was just over at her place.
22, crazy.
Happy birthday.
I still
I'm
feel
22 right now. It's a horrible age.
That's whack.
It's all downhill from here. It's your gift.
My
You're
gift.
on the pod.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
Well, let's not get too sidetracked. Let's get cryptic. David, I know you had a question that you posed to us earlier
I
this
have a
week, and
pretty
it was just
interesting
weird.
question.
Well,
I want to
okay.
know what you guys think about this. When does sound begin? When does sound start to be music? And when does music start to be sound? Where's the line? Where do you draw it?
I think sound, I guess to answer the question cut and dry, before we get into details, I think sound starts becoming music once you hear repetition that has some form of vibe to it. Whether it be repetitive or some sort of technical thing. As as a drummer, we tap things for sound, and a simple tap is a sound, but multiple taps make a groove, and that's what the music is, just a repetition of sound. And I think at a very core fundamental thing is music is just sound. Music is just sound and repetition that sounds good.
Cool.
That's
So
what it is.
This repetition, would you say rhythm?
Yeah.
Is like the base, the foundation of what makes. That's the line. That's your.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd definitely say if you want to cut it dry, rhythm is what changes it from sound to music.
Okay. Cool. I like that answer.
I'd say sound becomes music when, like what Frank was saying, it's got to be repetitive. It's got to have a rhythm. It's just got to groove. If it's just noise without a pattern, is it really music? Like,
Okay. Can I go after you? Have something? Well, what is your line actually? Yeah. What is yours?
Honestly, I'm not drawing blank, but that's just such just a random question that I. The thing is, I don't know how to be so technical with it, because when you say like repetition, for example, it's like. I mean, not that I'm familiar with very progressive music, but as far as it wouldn't be surprising to me if there was like prog rock bands or math rock or just something that's super technical that have grooves that never get repeated throughout the song. You know what I mean? So that's a simple aspect that if it's not there and the music requires that, then that needs to become music that I would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Vic, but when these technical, like, I guess, mathcore bands, right? You want to say,
whatever,
you want to
yeah.
put a subgenre to it,
Or
Gent, Car Bomb, right? Like, these bands that don't have, I guess, like, repeating verses, you want to say, but the sounds are in repetition to make
think
this
so?
segment of a song, right? So, like, this bridge has these has these sounds in repetition, whether or not, like, they're the same sound, but they're these co-active sounds to make this overall art.
There's
right?
some kind of repeating pattern.
Yeah, there's some sort of.
Whether or not it's the same exact
Yeah.
groove, it's some
Yeah.
organization
We could
of
take it-
notes of sound.
So
We could
then
take it
come
to the
back
opposite.
structure,
Yeah, we could take it to the opposite side, where like Sun, for example, a totally
exactly what I was gonna-
opposite band
That's exactly what I was gonna bring
is
up.
is music, but it's just
Sus-
one note,
Okay,
sustained.
but
Yeah.
it's sustained.
So
and
there's
it's-
no rhythm really to that.
no, but it's repetition,
and it's classified
yeah,
as music.
Yeah,
Wait
So
a sec,
that
wait a
breaks
sec.
your
Before
mold of rhythm
before
being
you
the
get-
line.
yeah.
before
true.
we get too away from it, are you familiar enough with Sun to explain it to people who never
I
heard
don't
it?
even want to explain Sun. Don't.
Sun
I
is
don't recommend
basically
them.
drone music.
Yeah, if you love the cryptic, the obscure, the weird, go check out Sun. Oh, parenthesis, parenthesis, parenthesis. This band is just, oh my god. A link down below. Like, it's terrible. It's really,
You think it's bad?
like, why would you listen? I mean, we've had friends. Who else? Did one of you go to their show?
No, Andrew
And Kurt went to their show. So they
Brian.
described it much as like an experience.
Yeah.
They had to go in with earbuds because they said you'd probably be deaf by the end of the show. It's that loud. They bump their amps to 20. You know what I mean? It's just like the vibrations on your body is the experience. I think many people that's like a good like transition into EDM. Do you go to shows for the music or the experience of the show? These people who are listening to drone music, I don't think they're like, oh, this music bumps. I think they're like, whoa, there's vibration on my body of how loud it is. This feels, whoa, you know what I mean?
you pretty much hit it on the dot. You pretty much go for the bass, the vibrations, and just the experience. It's
Like
not
the physical sensation that
Yeah.
comes with
Yep.
specifically through the music.
Yeah, just the loudness and the way music makes you feel. Most of the time, literally, is a big part of EDM. Watching it live.
I think that it's interesting to bring up, especially because I know that you're an EDM fan and that you go to raves and you go to these big shows. And me, I'm kind of like far on the other end of the spectrum, where I know right now when you brought up the question, like the sound music, you mean music like in a literal sense. But for me, like personally, in a more subjective and I guess more artistic sense, my artistic definition of music and my technical are different, you know?
I want to know both. I'm curious. Yeah.
Well, I guess I would just copy and paste their answers for what technically is music, because I don't think I could add to it. Like, I think it was pretty said clear. But from an artistic standpoint, just like anything that, think about everything in life, right? that has the word arts at the end of it. Whether it's like literary art,
Everything's fucking art.
to a certain degree, right? And like literary arts or culinary arts is cooking, you know. What makes it, and like, I think music has to have some kind of art form, and what to me art is, there is an intention behind something, and you express it, you know. Like what is the purpose of this song, and did the musician or the writer, whoever, accomplish that, or not even did they? I guess how did they? And I don't, and it's funny because I know the EDM has a very strong community behind it. So I don't mean to like trigger or upset or come at it.
Hey, don't say that, bro.
I'm just saying, like, for me, what I get out of music, it's just I don't get anything from EDM. Yeah. So if I'm following my artistic definition, if I feel like being bold and I feel like dropping a hot take, I could just say EDM is not music. What would you say to someone who said
There's
that?
some people who go that way too.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I would
have
go
to say it to them.
the technical route because it's very repetitive.
Mhm.
A lot of the beats are
4/4.
yeah, just simple patterns. I mean, if you know how to read rhythm as a drummer, then it's pretty basic. Like you'd be like, okay, this is music in a way, but it's because it's repetitive and because it has a certain groove and it makes you feel a certain way.
I'm very interested as to why someone who is a drummer, right, is so interested in that rhythm.
Okay, all right. Well, for me, my favorite subgenre is dubstep. They have a lot of patterns over like a basic bass and snare hit. So it's not more just about the rhythm. It's more about what's kind of added and kind of contradicted with that rhythm. If you listen to, I guess, like Tool, like it's basic pattern, but they change it up. So to me, it's like dubstep has that type of thing. Like
I guess to piggyback off of that, as being also a drummer, we're so used to finding that attractive beat, that EDM, that's all it is attractive beat. So knowing Alex as a drummer, you know, as a drummer, EDM is definitely it's like ear candy, you know? Yeah, right. And I could definitely see how you're coming from an artistic point where sometimes music blurs lines, right? Like we could always get the perfect example of Revolution 9, right? Like, is that music?
That's a great question. And as a big Beatles fan, don't get me wrong,
I think it's an art piece. I wouldn't call it music though, personally.
It doesn't fill your artistic standards as far as how you classify what music is.
Yeah. My opinion, but it's art. I'm not gonna take that away from it.
But there you go. If it's art and the medium is sound, you're occupying. You know, you're occupying fucking air. You're occupying with these sound waves.
Of course.
You know.
That's what I'm so like. I want to hear people's opinions on.
Have you heard that song?
What?
Revolution 9 by the Beatles.
I can't pull it off the top of my head right now.
It's
but I probably
okay. I'm gonna do the part for you. If you don't recognize it, then you obviously have it.
Okay, probably
number
not.
number nine, and
Dang.
it's that. If that
It's
doesn't
them,
ring a bell,
it's all of them saying that.
No,
it's Paul
just-
McCartney
and then
saying
like
that, and
background
it's
shit.
fucking
It just
Okay, I
it's
haven't
really
heard it.
chaos
Noise
in the
almost.
background.
And this is like in their albums. This
Yeah,
is a song.
it's a
on the
song on their
album.
album, the
On
White
the
Album,
White
and it's a
Album.
great album.
Is that music? Is someone's voice repeatedly saying something music? And they have this in dubstep a lot,
Yeah.
where it's just like a build, like it's and
Yeah.
it goes higher and higher, and it can be some random sound or someone's voice in this case. Would you classify that song as music?
I guess in that sense, you might have converted me because
It sounds more like
Yeah.
an interlude rather than just being a song. in a
I
way.
guess so. I think I see Revolution 9 more as like a Churchill speech intro, right? That's not really music, right?
Oh, I don't. That's
Is
that's something
Billie's-
completely different. I think. I don't know.
Is Billy's 30
Damn,
second
you really fucked me up
exclamation
with that.
mark a song?
That's not
Yeah.
a song.
It's a track on an album.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not a song though, but it's sound and it's part of the total art piece, right?
See, now where's our line, bro? We
Yeah.
blurred the fuck out.
Yeah, it's very
Okay,
blurry.
since we were talking about that Billie album earlier, let's focus on this. It's obviously not a song, I think, because like you said, there is no repetition. Like we were talking about, there is no rhythm to it.
Whatever that exclamation thing is, yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
She's just having a conversation with her brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
and
of
that's literally all
introducing
it is.
but
the
it's
album.
part of the
Yeah.
art, right?
It's part of the art.
Yeah, but it's not a song.
It's not a song.
So
Wouldn't be
you
a song.
think music has to hit both that. It has to hit the technical aspect and the artistic aspect.
Agreed.
It has to contribute to art in some kind of way.
Yes.
Whether or not you like
And
that
holds-
art, we're not arguing that.
And that's how you able to judge it, because it holds some of that technicality into it.
Right. Like with Revolution 9, for example, I don't know if there's a person on earth who enjoys it. Like, yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah, no one says that slaps.
Yeah, turn up fucking Paul saying number 9
no one
for
cues
however
it.
long. No one's gonna say that. But like, if you're
Bet.
sitting down and listening to the White
That's
Album,
my favorite song.
you're like, I've never heard that song, but I love it. But I'm saying, like, if you're sitting down listening to the White Album in its entirety, there's gonna be a part of you that appreciates that part,
Yeah.
whether or not it's enjoyable from a music standpoint. You're seeing it for something a little bit more beyond,
Yeah.
you know, and that's kind of the reason why we listen to. That's why we take on albums as like its entire art piece, you know,
Exactly.
for the moments like that where it's like, is this just sound? Is it just words? What does this mean? You know, something
Yeah.
that provokes some actual thought, whether or not it hits the technical aspects of music, but it gets you thinking in an artistic way.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It may not be lyrics producing thoughts, but it's these sounds producing thoughts,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about, right?
And I think as much shit talk as I produce about EDM, that's kind of like the basis of it, where it's like there's hardly words that really carry these feelings and emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like you said, like you literally feel the music on a physical point,
Yeah.
and that builds that kind of connection to the music.
Yeah.
It literally does.
To summarize, yep, that's pretty much it.
And it was funny. I kind of want to bring it back up, you know, if we have the time for it. That like you said, like going to Sun, like people they're not going like, oh yeah, Sun bangs. I listen to that shit on my way home. But you're talking about like the experience.
Right, because I haven't been to their show either, but off Leo and Andrew's experience, what they've come back and told us.
Yeah.
It's the experience that's more.
So I kind of just want to ask you about the EDM experience as far as like going to raves or going to a big show.
Okay, well, I guess, all right. You show up, everyone's super friendly. They're just nice, like saying, oh, I like your outfit or some stupid shit. Once you're in the crowd, it's like, it's a beat you're able to kind of start grooving to, so you start dancing. You see other people dancing, you're like, okay, like, this feels cool. And eventually, you're kind of in a state of euphoria where you're just feeling it, and the people's energy around you, kind of, you just feed off of that. So
I'm saying, so like in that sense, do you think people actually enjoy EDM for the music, or is it pretty much entirely based on the experience of going to these festivals, of going to raves, stuff like that?
I think it would be more about going to raves, because a lot of people I know don't listen to EDM.
Like on their spare time.
Yeah.
That makes
It's
sense.
like, it's super rare seeing it. I've asked some people, hey, have you checked this out? Do you check this out? And I ask them, oh, like, how did you hear about these people? Oh, I saw them at EDC. Oh,
That's
I saw
so
them
cool.
at Beyond. I mean, it's cool because
Yeah.
they're learning.
Like I went to go see them and I listened to them on my way to work.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, I listen to them, but yeah, not on my spare time.
Right.
Mhm.
So, it's funny because, I mean, I don't know if it makes me sound like an ass or whatever, but like to me, it's like, man, if I don't like the music, I can't picture myself going to an event like that because I
Yeah,
don't.
that's
Because I
valid.
mean, I'm honest, I wouldn't listen to it on my spare
That's
time.
valid, yep.
But I am incredibly. I'll admit that I'm totally jealous that music has that kind of community because I see it online all the time, man. It's like, yeah, people can talk, share, make fun of them, make memes,
Yeah,
whatever.
yep.
It doesn't fucking matter because once they're there, that community it's tight, And then like I think about going to just like shows, like we go to like punk shows or rock shows, whatever. Sometimes we'll see bands and they're like, oh, this time we saw them here and it was cool, but it wasn't like this other time because the crowd was cool. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
vibes.
Sometimes you'll go like there's bands that I like that the experience of going to that show sucks because the crowd sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel the community as much as an EDM community, I guess.
I don't know about that, but because here's the thing with me is like I don't like EDM. Right? Like solely, as I said, like would I listen to it on my spare time? I'm probably with those people. Like I don't think I'd bump it.
Right.
I have very occasionally, and it's like this is not my vibe, so I don't bump it too often.
It's like
But,
saying
yeah.
someone who doesn't listen to like screamo. It's like you play it and you're like, I'm not feeling this, bro.
So you don't go into deep.
So you don't
and
go
just,
into it,
You
yeah.
just leave it,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of me. That's where I am right now. But I do think I would enjoy the full experience. Because it's like you're only picking at it. You're not biting it and finishing.
You're not going in.
You're not
like,
finishing your meal.
You're not diving into.
You know what I mean? There's like a world that is left to.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? So I think I would go for the experience, and then I'd be able to judge it better. Like, I don't like the music, and I don't like it on my spare time. Do I think I'll enjoy going to a rave? Probably. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I don't think you've
so.
enjoyed. I don't think you've enjoyed it.
Screamo does bang, bro. It does.
I mean, what but okay, so, but I feel like if you have to go that deep into it before even enjoying it, is it even worth it at that point? Because there's so many things that people are like, oh, you don't like it because you're not seeing it at its full potential.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
True.
I think that's one example of
Good
liking
question
it.
for the next pod.
No, honestly, you would have to dive pretty deep into it.
It's a whole
to
culture.
understand it.
No, yeah, for sure.
it's honestly
Yeah,
a
yeah,
culture.
and that's the thing. I do not want to dismiss that at all. And basically, all major forms and all genres of music have those communities.
Yeah.
You know, and I know kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, I don't mean to shit talk people who like punk or people who like rock. It's just that I go to venues sometimes, and it's just you can tell some people are just not welcoming, or like I've been to so many shows where they're purely there for the headliner, which is okay. I understand. Maybe you didn't heard of the first band, you know, that plays or that opens up. But at least show some enthusiasm that you're happy to be there. I see people that they go and then the opening act, they're just like,
That Joyce Manor show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we went to see Joyce.
Yeah, we
The
saw-
openers for
about
Joyce Manor.
Jeff.
Everyone was just like.
yeah, we saw in Pomona Jeff Rosenstock open up for Joyce Manor, and I'm a huge Jeff Rosenstock. I mean, I love them both.
Great show.
It was a great show. I'll
It
say
was a
that.
good
But
show.
the thing is,
It was awesome.
it was only
For the experience, I feel like in that kind of culture of like rock and punk rock music, in that culture, it's like you. I feel like to be respectful to that whole
Vibe.
to that scene, I guess, is like you're not supposed to like. Let's say you hear a band, you never listen to them, but you like on the spot, like, hey, I fuck with this. Like, I really like. I can move to this. But if you move, you're an asshole because you're ruining the environment for everyone.
That's the
else.
thing.
It's like that's kind of bullshit, and that's why with EDM, I'm pretty sure people will never listen to this kind of like this DJ or whatever. But if you feel it, and you move, and it's like that's accepted. But in those type of shows, it's like you're supposed
Yeah,
to have your arms crossed.
that's what killed me. Yeah.
Kind of a little head bob, and that's it. But if you feel it, you
Like-
can't move because you're an asshole.
Like, I wasn't expecting there to be a shit ton of Jeff Rosenstock fans. For one, he was added to the bill pretty last second. But, like, for what it seemed like, it just by purely the crowd's reaction, it only felt like the five of us were the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, eventually...
We were the hype.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just it's up to the community, I guess, or people like us to really try to, I guess, be a community. You know, be more welcoming. So like, it's not that genres just like that have, I guess, an experience like you do. You know, that experience can translate into other forms of music.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's just still this idea of being pretentious or just being cool or whatever. That's
Always
not
trying to
linking.
be the first person to reach out because it's like man, I was talking about this in class the other day. It was like when you're sitting in a group and everyone's quiet, everyone's serious face, just arms crossed. I think everyone's waiting for someone to break the mold, someone to smile and make everyone laugh, and then that's when everyone just like releases that tension, and you know what I mean. So I think when you go to EDM, this community is full of people who come in wanting to break that mold. Like you come in and you give a compliment, hey, I like your shirt, because that's like, oh, thanks, right? And if everyone goes into that place with that mentality,
That types on what Brian was saying.
That's a different vibe.
How
Yeah,
if
definitely.
you see people at rock shows are arms crossed.
Yeah.
You see people at a rave. Like
they're going head first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what?
just waiting for someone else to be like, hey,
It's funny.
you know.
Just think about what the original question was and how we ended up here. That just shows like how much
The
humans
depth.
care about sound and music,
depth.
and it's just crazy, man. It's
It's more than just a rhythm and
Yeah.
repetition.
It's emotion, man.
It's emotion.
you know
That's
it is.
yeah.
It's much to think about.
It's much to think about.
We're great.
Everything's cool. All right. Though that was episode 2 of the Amateur Hour podcast. I just want to thank our guests one more time for coming on, Alex and Frank. Do you guys have anything you want to shout out? Do you want anything to plug?
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Mr_Metal Stash. I'm kind of cryptic sometimes, so beware.
Get ready for shitpost. Alex, you good? Do you have anything to plug?
I'm pretty much off the grid, so you can't find me anywhere.
Well, it is what it is. Did you want to talk about next
Oh,
week?
all right. So next episode, the album we decided to review would be Tame Impala's new release, Slow Rush.
Came out today.
Yeah,
at
it came
9
out tonight.
p.m.
Today, I mean. But we did see that early release.
We went to the early
We
release
went
party,
to
but it was just
It was.
there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I need to listen to it again. I'm gonna
when-
start listening to it as soon as we.
Oh yeah, as
cut.
soon as this is over, we're gonna start listening to it. Next week, we're gonna talk about it. Hopefully, more in depth. Yeah, I think that's about it for that. Take it away, man.
Basically, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for for reaching out, supporting us for the first episode last week. I want to give a shout out to
The shout outs.
shout outs to Jasmine and Jasmine, not the same person, and Kyle for shouting us out on your stories, sharing us, liking the page, following, direct messages, all that stuff.
Really appreciate it.
Really
It's
appreciate
very, very.
So if
very
you want to
much
start with the next
appreciated.
episode, do the exact same thing. All you gotta do is at least send a message saying that you're watching. Share on your IG for some extra points, or do whatever. Exercise your free will. You're a human being. Do whatever you want. If you want to come on the podcast or just share some ideas, DM us at Sunken or Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever way you're watching this right now. I'm sure that platform has a DM
The
thing
message
set up.
system.
Fucking shoot,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway,
Like, rate it, judge it, love it, hate it, watch it. Just watch it, man.
watch it.
Support.
Shit on us in the comments.
Yeah.
I do not care.
Don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Comment down below. Smash the thumbs up button. All of that. We're done.
All right, love you guys. Thank you.
you.